Hey everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be a new edition of 1 Week 1 Shelf. So at the end of my last vlog, I picked from the jar the next shelf that would be my challenge for this week, which was number 22, which is mystery thriller. And I'm very excited. However, if I look at my shelf, I have no idea what to pick. So, okay, so this is shelf number 22. It's very, very full. I've read quite a few books on that shelf. Let me show you super quickly. So red. Yes, I have read that. I don't know why it's still there because I can't connect with her stuff. Or did I just read the other ones? I don't remember. I have read red, and red. That's it. Okay, so that's still, you know, pretty decent amount. I do have more like mystery thriller horror over, but from that shelf I need to choose at least one physical book. So I went and confirmed I have read this one at the confusion. I read multiple of her books in a row. That's why before deciding that they weren't for me. That's why I was confused for a second. So I have decided which book I'm starting with, and I'll explain it in a second, but it's this one, which is a fairly new release. The cover is not super appealing, but I ended up picking based on Goodreads ratings, and the ratings can be, you know, but mystery thrillers, I know nothing about the books. I don't want to know anything before I go into them, and some of them have been there for a little while. But this one was a fairly new release, and it has a 4.12 average rating on Goodreads, which is good, especially for mystery thrillers. I feel like they don't tend to have a 4. So this is going to be the one that I am starting with if I have time. Because mystery thrillers, sometimes you just binge read them. I'll pick the one that was in second place. But I'm excited. This is a familiar site, which came out, was it last year or the year before? 2021. So a fairly recent release, and I believe this one you're following a like psychopath teenager, actually literally in the back, a teenage psychopath, a shocking crime, a psychologist who's getting to the truth. That's all we want to know. As far as the audiobook, I was looking at the ones that I have, and they are not available at my library, or they just don't have it. So I decided to go with the one that was offered to me, that already was on my waiting list and ready to go, and it is a mystery thriller, so we're allowing it. The Good Sister by Sally Epworth. Again, I don't know much about it, so we're just gonna go into it and figure it out, but it's also fairly new release, so I think this is gonna be the team for this week. New release mystery thrillers. Hopefully things go well. I feel like I'm in the need right now of something quick, so I think this is gonna hit the spot, so fingers crossed. Update number 1, it is now Monday afternoon, I guess, late-ish in the day. It's snowing outside, I don't know if you can tell. I feel like snow is hard to see unless it's like really thick. Anyway, so I am now in the middle of both books, and I can tell you what they are about since I didn't know. I don't know if I should have picked that one because I just looked that it had a good rating, and I've been desperate to find some new good mysteries, and I maybe wouldn't have picked that if I had known that it was about pregnancy. But you're following twin sisters, and one of them is neurodivergent, and she understands that her sister wants to have a baby, and she decides, but she can't, so she decides to get pregnant for her. But they seem to have a pretty weird dynamic because you're getting flashback also from the other sister when they were growing up, and their mother seems to be neglectful or like straight up abusive. And I'm just struggling to see where this is going to go so far, but it's not bad per se. I just don't think it's necessarily for me. We'll see. At least I don't so far disagree with who she decided to have said baby with. That's all I have to say right now for it. As far as the second one, A Familiar Sight, I made some good progress, and I now know once again what it is about. You have this sociopath who, when she grew up, she was accused of murdering someone, which was like 8, and ever since then she kind of has a relationship with a police officer, and she's just helping him in certain cases. She has like a PhD, blah blah, whatever. I'm saying that because I don't really care about the main character, but we'll see if she grows on me. In this specific case, you're following a psychopath teenage girl who was accused of murdering her mother while she was sleeping, and they don't know if it's her or if it's not. And then we're just starting to learn about the other people that were involved, including the lawyer that was the lawyer of the teenage girl that is also the friend of the sociopath. did I lose you yet? But everyone seems to be kind of linked. It seems to be messy, like almost a little family drama, but I'm not hating it so far. Basically, it seems like there's a lot more history between the characters that we're seeing from, you know, at first sight. So far I'm enjoying all of that. We'll see in what direction it goes. We'll see if the ending is good. I don't necessarily need the endings of both books to be shocking, but I just want them to be interesting. So I'm still hopeful, but my expectations have lowered. I will see you in a couple of days when I'm done with them, unless something really shocking happens. Good morning. It is Thursday, so day 6. I wanted to update you because I have officially finished the 2 books. So The Good Sister and then A Familiar Sight, and I wanted to discuss them. I have not been very lucky with mystery thrillers. Please, in the comment section, actually let me know the best one you've read recently, because yesterday I uploaded my March TBR and I talked about rock, paper, scissors, and of course when I mentioned that a book is on my TBR, this is when everyone tells me that it sucked. Everyone said that the ending wasn't great, which I'm still gonna read it and hopefully disagree, maybe, but I would love to get some recommendations, because damn it, I want to give a 5 stars to like one mystery thriller like this year. Let's start with The Good Sister, which is the first one I finished. This one was my audiobook, and frankly I'm just really disappointed. I feel like for a mystery it felt more like a family drama, kinda. The ending was what was a letdown for me. To be fair, the premise wasn't something that I was super into. Like, I kind of forgot, like I mentioned, what it was about, and when I started I was like, oh, I don't know about that. My favorite character was Wally. Technically his real name was Rocco. So him was my favorite character, and that's about it. Like, if I'm trying to think about the one positive thing, it would be the neurodivergent representation. Everything else, I really didn't care about it. Not that I need the ending to be shocking for mystery, but I still thought it was obvious, and I just was not invested, and I don't get it. So for me, this is just 2 stars. Disappointed. As far as A Familiar Sight, this one I overall enjoyed. I liked the premise. I didn't know how I would feel about the whole like sociopath main character. We'll come back to that. But the whole like, oh, is it the psychopath teenage girl that did it? Is it someone else? And then discovering like the dynamic between a lot of different characters. A lot of them were basically friends back in the day, and now they're like coming back in each other's life and trying to see if they're related with another girl that was friend with them that disappeared like 20 years ago. So that was like the main premise. It wasn't 20 years. Was it like 15 years? Anyway, you get it. So that part I thought was intriguing. I was overall pretty invested. I liked some of the other characters. My issue was the main character. I just really didn't like the way she was written. And I don't know if it's because she's a sociopath, or the fact that, this is gonna sound rude, but like bear with me, I felt like she was written like a high schooler would write her. Like, I feel like she would have like flashes of like gruesome things she wanted to do but trying to control herself, and like it just rang really not true. Not that I'm an expert in sociopaths, like I don't know how that would really happen, but I just really didn't connect with it. I just roll my eyes every time, and yeah, I just didn't care for it. I believe this is a series. I feel like I remember seeing on Goodreads like #1 next to it. I'm not going to continue because I didn't care for it, but I like the rest. So I feel like for other people that might be a hit, even though for me this is going to be a 3 stars. So if you don't really mind what's going on with the main character, I think you're going to overall enjoy it for sure, because I like the rest. It's just, since it's the main character, it's hard to like, you know, separate her from the rest of the story following her. So yes, 3 stars for me. Not my best reading week this month, although this month wasn't my best reading month. I feel like next month we're gonna have to focus on reading really good books to compensate. It's always still a fun challenge for me to do, and technically at this point, since I still have 2 days, I should be picking up the next one, which was the one with 4.10 rating on Goodreads. But I'm gonna be cutting myself some slack because everything that's been going around in the world, I'm just not really in the mood to read more murder mystery. I think that in order to make myself more happy, I'm gonna focus for I tried to say next and last, 7 days of the month on the books that I'm in the middle of. Little dust. So I'm going to be finishing The Emperor of All Medici as an audiobook. I was about 60% into it. I think I have about 7 hours left, so at 1.5 that's less than that. So I can easily finish that before the end of the month, and I would have finally finished a big nonfiction book, so that would be nice. And I want to finish this adult fantasy, Before They Hang by Joe Abercrombie, the second book in the First Law trilogy, because I need a good fantasy. I know technically I read from that #1 shelf, which was adult fantasy, but they were fantasy books I didn't really care about, and I knew I was going to have to like read them and decide to throw them away, which yes, that's kind of what happened there. So I want to actually read a good one, and hopefully this is going to be it. I was already started in the beginning of the month, so I think this is going to be at least a 4 stars, which I need desperately. So this is going to be the end of this. However, I wanted to mention that you're going to be able to see a haul video soon. I don't know how you guys are doing, but me, I needed some self-care. Things have been rough. I'm still on hormones to help with the pain before I get surgery, and by the way, they're working. I am so relieved, and I've been trying to find things to help with the anxiety because they have been giving me anxiety. But I've been eating don't laugh at me. I've been eating like sweet potato before bed because it like stabilized my blood sugar, which we still don't know what the hell is wrong with that. But I've been drinking this, not sponsored obviously, but sleepy time tea. I saw these going around, and I had a friend actually give me this box, and I was like, I've never had trouble falling asleep. Nah. But I have last week and in the last week, and this actually really worked. I don't know why I was skeptical, but this really worked. All of this plus buying books, which let me show you. Sneak peek, because I'm gonna do a haul, you know, in March, but sneak peek. Look at this. I have a pile of books, which I'm gonna be able to do a full haul video. Very excited. Plus, I have heard, are you ready? Best news ever, that my library is going to start doing library sales again. So it means that I will be able to buy more books, because really cheap books is the best thing ever. And I think I might go soon because my birthday is in April, so I think I'm gonna try to go in April to like birthday gift to myself kind of thing. So you can look forward to 1, maybe 2, maybe more haul videos in the future. I don't think it was necessarily my most successful 1 week, 1 shelf in terms of the amount of books that I've read or like high ratings, but I do think I've unhauled some books. Like I know that I'm gonna get rid of some and have more space on my shelves, which that's a positive. And I will hopefully by the end of the month finish 1 nonfiction, which was a big thing for me this year. So it's not the worst thing ever. Hopefully you've had a really great reading month. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out. And I will see you in my next video, which is probably going to be my wrap up. So Emily, finish some books. I'll see you soon. Bye.